guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Ricky Myers, and today we're drinking out of the Abbey Road Studios coffee cup because I thought it would be appropriate for today's video, which is my collection of Eric Clapton CDs, books, DVDs, and magazines. And a trivia question. I'm not 100% sure on this, but I believe Eric Clapton only recorded one song at Abbey Road Studios. If you know what that song is, it's a very big song. If you know what song that is, drop it down in the comments. And hey, maybe you will enlighten me. I think of myself as an Eric Clapton fan, but maybe you'll enlighten me that there was more than this one famous song recorded at Abbey Road Studios. I know Eric did a lot of work with a lot of artists, and I don't know, maybe one of those where it was recorded at Abbey Road. I do not believe any of his albums were recorded at Abbey Road, but again, I could be wrong. So today, for my collection, what I will include in this one and not, because I think this is going to be a long video and I don't want to make it longer, I'm going to go over my collection of Eric Clapton, not the bands that Eric Clapton was in, such as Cream and Blind Faith and what had the Yardbirds and others, and not when Eric appears on someone else's album like Phil Collins or one of those things, Tina Turner. So I will not include any burned discs that are not official. I'm sure we all have those, but the last time I included a burned disc, boy, I got some heat down in the comments. So I won't include anything that's not official, no bootlegs, just my official stuff. And when it comes to CDs, I have 46 official Eric Clapton CDs in my collection. And let's quit yapping and jump right into it, all right? This would be the one that kicked it off, 1970s, Eric Clapton. I'll try to hold these so they don't get that glare on there, but let me show you what I do, okay? I don't keep them in the CD disc. I take them out and I put them in this right here. And you can see that on the inside, there is a little white envelope. I put the disc in, and the other side gets the insert artwork. So there you go, 1970, Eric Clapton kicked it all off. There is one band that I will include, and that's because I think of it as Eric Clapton and not this actual band, and that is Derek and the Dominoes, and Layla and Assorted Love Songs also came out in 1970. Then in 73, we've got Eric Clapton, the Rainbow Concert. 1974, we have 461 Ocean Boulevard. 1975, there's One in Every Crowd. 1975, also, you had EC Was Here. 1976, No Reason to Cry. A really good one in 1977, Slowhand. 1978, Backless. 1980, I'm slapping them down, aren't I? 1980, Just One Night. 1981, Another Ticket. 1982, I bet a lot of people have this one or had this one back in the 80s. 1982, Best of Eric Clapton Timepieces. 1983, Money and Cigarettes. Lesser owned was 1983's Timepieces Volume 2, Live in the 70s. 1984's Backtrackin', a compilation looking back. 1985 gave us Behind the Sun. 1986, a good album, August. The granddaddy of all box sets, 1988's Crossroads, 4-disc. 1989, Journeyman, a great CD. And here's a great live CD. 24 Nights in 1991, 2-disc. Eric in the soundtrack biz in 1992 with the Rush soundtrack. Another big seller, but you probably have this one in your collection. Unplugged, MTV, 1992. And one that a lot of people don't have. Derek and the Dominoes live at the Fillmore was released in 1994. Obviously, it was recorded in 1970. Moving on, we've got 1994, From the Cradle, another one, not a bad song on there. Here's a compilation from 95, The Cream of Clapton, obviously playing on his former band. 1998, Pilgrim. 1999, another compilation, The Clapton Chronicles. 1999, the 2-disc, just titled Blues. One disc is studio and one disc is live. 1999, the Blues Years. This one takes a look back with his work with the Yardbirds, On His Own, and with John Mayall and some others. 2000 was the collaboration with B.B. King titled Riding with the King. That's a fun disc. 2001, Reptile. Another great live album. 2002, One More Train, One More Rider. Now here's one, I've got 3 that I cannot find my insert art, and it's because these came, I don't know what you call it, the paper the paper, not the plastic ones. So there was really no insert to go with these. It's just simply the case that it came in. Well, anyway, this is 2004, Me and Mr. Johnson. And that was followed up shortly with The Sessions for Robert J. Don't have that one either. There's one more when I get to it. I'll let you know. 2004 also gave us another compilation, The Millennium Collection. 2005, Back Home. Another collaboration in 2006, J.J. Cale and Eric Clapton, The Road to Escondido. 2010, simply titled Clapton. Another compilation in 2011, Eric Clapton Icon, and this is Icon 2. I do not have the first Icon. And here's the other one of my favorites too. Old Sock from 2013. Did not have insert paperwork. So when you do what I do, you don't have anything to put on that side. Another compilation from 2014, The Breeze, an appreciation of J.J. Cale. Great live show. From 2015, Eric Clapton, Slowhand at 70. This was his birthday celebration where he did, I'm not going to know how many shows he did in London at the Royal Albert Hall, but in New York, in Madison Square Garden, he did 4. And one of those shows was the very first time that I saw Eric. That birthday show was really something special. I mean, the guest, it was almost like an award show. So many other famous blues guitarists coming out and rotating through different songs. Let's see, 2015, also another compilation disc called Forever Man came out. 2016, I Still Do. Another good live album, great live album from 2022. Eric Clapton, Nothing But the Blues. And the last one in my collection is from 2022, The Lady in the Balcony. Of course, this was made during the pandemic. So that is the CD portion of my Eric Clapton collection. And most people would say, well, which one is your favorite? And I'll tell you which one is my favorite. And it is 1999, The Blues. Gives you a little bit of Eric Studio and Eric Live. So this has been my favorite for some time now. Of course, it's always subject to change. Now let me go grab the DVDs and we'll go through those next. Okay, so for DVDs, we'll start out with the one that everybody's familiar with probably, and that is the MTV Unplugged DVD. I also have the Sessions for Robert J. This is a great DVD going into behind the scenes of the making of that album. Next up, the Slowhand at 70 concert film made at Royal Albert Hall. And then technically not just a Eric Clapton, but if you know how much of a fan Eric was of the band, the fact that one of the reasons he quit Cream was to go to America and try to join the band. Of course, that never happened, but he did play at the final concert for the band, The Last Waltz. And that's it for DVDs. Now let me grab the books. All right, so going with the books, I've got a pile here. I'm not going to go into the years they came out. I'm just going to show you. Here's a fairly small one. Eric Clapton, the illustrated biography. And there's one. Next up is Eric Clapton, Lost in the Blues. And this one is by Harry Shapiro, who has done quite a few Eric books. In fact, here's one right here. And by Shapiro, Slowhand, the story of Eric Clapton. These are soft covers there. Now here's a hardcover, and if you're just going to read one, a lot of glare in there because of the cover I have on it. If you're just going to read one book about Eric Clapton, this is the one I would recommend that you read, the autobiography by Eric himself, simply titled Clapton. This one is a good one though. If you're going to read two of them, then this would be the next one that I would recommend. Crossroads, The Life and Music of Eric Clapton by Michael Shoemaker. Here's one I haven't got to yet, also titled Slowhand. This one by Philip Norman. I have not read this one yet, so can't recommend it, but we'll see one day. Okay, here's the complete recording sessions of Eric Clapton by Mark Roberty, who's written more than one book on Eric Clapton. Next up is kind of getting into non-primary Eric territory with Cream, Strange Brew. This one's by Chris Welsh. Here's one, the new visual documentary by Mark Roberty, just Eric Clapton. It's a soft cover, but oversized and large. Here's one called Slowhand, The Life and Music of Eric Clapton, also by Mark Roberty. I see a trend that some of these guys, once they write about an artist, they're like, hey, I've done all the work. Let me find how many different ways I can package this. This one by Jeffrey Juliana, The Illustrated Eric Clapton. And the last book I have by Fred Wheeler is just simply titled Eric Clapton. Try to get the glare out of there. And those are the books. Now let me grab the magazines. I'll start with the magazines by saying there are a ton of magazines out there if you want to collect this kind of stuff. I haven't really picked up that many. In fact, I think I only have 4 here, but there are, I think I'd counted at one point about 50 of them that I'd love to add to the collection. But here's one from Guitar World that came out in 2024. When did this one come out? Should make it easier. Oh, September 2011. Pretty much a full issue on Eric Clapton, and that came out from Guitar World and Guitar One, a collaboration. The ones that I do own are ones where I pretty much had read most of the interview, and I really like the story, the interviews that are in them. Here's one from Guitar Player. And when did this one come out? May of 2004. And the last one, maybe it'll say it on the side. I hate it when they make it so hard to figure out when did this go. Oh, summer of 2016, Classic Rock put this this magazine out, and it's in the collection. So those are the 4 that I have, but literally I've seen about 50 of them that I would love to add to the collection. So yeah, as you can tell, I have a little bit of an Eric Clapton problem here, and thankfully my wife never watches any of these videos, or else she might figure out where some of the money has gone over the years to feed this Eric Clapton collection of mine. Anyway, guys, I'd like to know which I decided to do this because I took a look at my CD collection. I'm like, who makes up the biggest part of my CD collection? And without a doubt, at 46 compact disc, it was Eric Clapton. So my question to you, what artist or band do you have the most in your collection of? Whether it's records, CDs, or what have you. Who is your most collected artist? Until next time, happy collecting.